Hello and welcome to the Hot Dog and Handshake Pro Wrestling Show. I am your host, Jayden Ginsbyder. Joining me is my co-host, Shane Price. Shane, how you doing this week?
I'm pretty good.
Neither one of us are doing as good as Bam Adebayo this week. Crazy. We're recording this just after Bam scored 83, so that's going to be on our minds the whole time. Also, I want to address something up top, all right, regarding a tweet this week that I saw. I think there's nothing wrong with pineapple on pizza. I think it's good. The amount of pineapple on Jordan Grace's slice of pizza was fucking ridiculous. That was over the limit. So that I'm going to leave it at that. That's my statement. Pineapple on pizza is good. That was too much pineapple.
It
You ready-
was. I
you
don't
ready for
like
the
pineapple on pizza, but I agree.
Yeah. All right. Caller number question of the week. Take this any direction you want. Who would you book to be Danhausen's opponent at WrestleMania this year?
Mm. Oh, tough question, dude. Because there's so many you could think of,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you think of like anybody who's like a character first kind of guy would work because
Mm-hmm.
you're just riffing off of the characters.
Yeah.
So, I gotta look at the roster for WWE. I don't even know. Like R-Truth would instantly be like the first guy calling my mind just because of
It's
character.
an instant classic with R-Truth. Yeah.
But think about like underrated guys. I think Solo Sikoa versus Danhausen would be really funny.
Oh my god. Because oh yeah, I mean the whole thing with Solo Sikoa is he's one of the best comedy acts in wrestling today, but they tried to force him into being like a main eventer, and that was always the problem. If they just let him be a comedy act, can you imagine Danhausen interacting with fucking Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa? And he just calls both of them Tonga Tonga. They just look in his Danhausen way.
Samoa Tonga, yes, Samoa Tonga, yes.
Yeah, yes, Tonga Tonga. um, Solo, he calls him Solo Samoa. That would be great. The Hurricane coming out of retirement to face Danhausen would be hilarious. If Danhausen is teasing for like weeks that he's going to face a WWE legend at WrestleMania, and everybody's trying to guess who it is, and then it's the Hurricane.
No, not even. It's a guy who's named after it's a guy who works in the performance center.
Mm-hmm.
It's Norman fucking Smiley.
Norman Smiley versus Danhausen, dude. That legit. I know Norman Smiley's like 80 or something now. That legit might be the best match of Danhausen's.
Imagine Danhausen cursing him after he hits the big wiggle on him. Imagine Danhausen having to do the big wiggle.
Yeah, who could be like? I want something similar to. Remember a couple years ago when they did that a former WWE champion is returning to Raw thing, and it was Jinder Mahal at first, and then it was The Rock, whatever. What could be a similar type of ruse that Danhausen could do, but then have just an out of left field, really funny opponent? You know what I mean? Like he keeps saying,
It would only work because they're friends, but I think CM Punk would walk Danhausen into a good match.
Danhausen keeps saying he's going to wrestle a former world champion. World champion. He never says WWE champion, nothing that. He says he's going to wrestle a former world champion at WrestleMania. And his opponent is Adam Pearce.
I think it'd be funnier if you got like,
Or Nick Aldis.
I
You
don't
do Nick
know,
Aldis.
just thinking out loud here, people who have won world champions and like the indies, like Joe Gacy.
Like Joe Gacy, yeah. Yeah. God, who else would be a random? Or he says he wants to end the streak, and he calls out Michael Cole, who is 1-0 at WrestleMania. There's so many great ways to take this. I'm excited to see what
You
they.
know what? No. He should do every single one of those. He should challenge all of those people.
Yeah. Moving on here to the news of the week. Starting off, Mercedes Moné starting to lose some belts.
Oh shit! That's nice. Better one. Oh,
what?
I'm ready. I just forgot even funnier one. We already moved on.
What you got?
Axe is 3-0 at WrestleMania.
Dude.
Demolition Axe is 3-0 at WrestleMania, and he's going. And he'll be there.
He'll be there. That'd be great. Or him challenging Axe for his Hall of Fame spot. Oh, dude, that'd be really funny.
As long as Crush isn't there.
Yeah. All right. Mercedes Moné dropping some belts. Dropped the CMLL women's title to Persephone. She dropped another one. One of the European companies. She dropped that title. What do you think? We're starting to see the downfall of Moné.
I texted you. I think this is going to lead to the best Mercedes Moné work in a while, as like this unhinged asshole heel just trying to get a title back at any chance that he can, if she can.
Yeah, just trying to get any belt. Yeah.
Doesn't matter which one, just in general.
Yeah, and even just like taking herself out of her element, like trying to challenge for the Ring of Honor Women's Pure title and losing because she's just like not known as like a technical wrestler, just getting outclassed for the title. Just stuff like that, just trying anything.
Challenging for like
calls out
showing
Jeff
up
Jarrett
like
for the Texas Chainsaw title.
Showing up in a random indie, running into the ring, rolling up the champion, and stealing the belt would be really funny.
Oh my god, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the downfall, and then from there we build up. You know, that's going to be interesting too, is her building up, and then eventually, because the downfall eventually, you get low enough. When you're at rock bottom, people eventually will start to feel bad for you.
Yeah,
and the fans
will turn her face too.
Start getting behind her, and then they'll have to turn her face, and then you build her up, and you bring her up, and you bring her up, and you bring her up. I mean, that's, look at Finn Balor just this year. He'd been toiling away in the tag division for years. Technically, he's been a heel, but he's been at the bottom of the barrel for so long. People are like, come on, give Finn a chance. Let's get behind Finn. And then he gets a world title shot at Elimination Chamber. I think it could be very similar to that, where somebody who is, so beaten down, and in Finn's case it was more of a real life, like just not booked well, but in Mercedes' case it'll be like a kayfabe losses beat her down, and then the fans want to see them climb out of that hole and come back up. It's a classic redemption story. WWE news. We do have a couple things from TV I want to talk about, but first, something much more important happened this week. Dr. Carlin Colker lost the appeal to produce documents showing Vince McMahon paid Janel Grant's medical bills. So basically, the Janel Grant camp has been asking for these documents. It's been a whole fight. That's been really most of the proceedings so far have been this fight for documentation and evidence. And the Colker camp had been appealing. A judge dismissed the appeal. basically saying now they have to give Janel Grant's legal team the documents saying that Vince McMahon paid for her medical bills. So, as we've said many times with this, the way the court system works, progress is so incremental. You get updates are few and far between, and the ones that matter are even more rare. This is one that matters. Something is happening with this, and so we can just only hope things keep going further and the proper punishment is dealt out for this case. Do you have anything on it?
I just really hope that this goes to Discovery because it does not deserve to go to Discovery. Is me, legitimately, anybody who's connected to this needs to be fired, and the only way we'll know is through Discovery.
Yeah. Once that go through the whole process is the way we'll find out about all that. So, couple things on WWE. Cody wins back the WWE title on SmackDown this week after losing his chance at the Elimination Chamber, losing 3 stages of hell, which is supposed to be like a feud ending stipulation. He just gets a title shot. For what reason?
Because he's the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. Trademark owned by American Nightmare Band.
Yeah. What do you think of this decision? Sets up Cody Randy at Mania. I kind of predicted this last week. I said, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago, whatever, talking about Elimination Chamber, saying that I thought Cody was going to weasel his way into making it a triple threat somehow. And I even said I wouldn't put it past WWE to have him beat Drew on SmackDown. So I guess I was kind of right in predicting that WWE would make a bad decision. So I guess let's take this from each angle here. What does this mean for Cody Rhodes to you? Like, what does this mean for him?
For Cody, I think just the way that he looked at the end of the chamber, it just tells me that it's gonna be a heel turn for Cody.
Mm-hmm. It's either going to be a heel turn or it's going to be a face that gets booed heavily, like Roman, like 10 years ago. Yeah, I think that's kind of where it is. What also puts Cody in the elite class of 5-time world champions. By my official stat count, he is the 71st 5-time world champion in wrestling history. In modern wrestling history, I guess I only really count back to like the WC. I guess I count all of the MWA history, but whatever. What does this mean for
Carl Gotch was actually the champion? No, I don't know.
What does this mean for Drew Mack here?
Well, I saw they're going to do something with him and Fatu, which is awesome. I love that idea. Imagine if it was for the title.
Mm-hmm. Or imagine if it was Drew Randy for a title. If it was Drew finally getting the WrestleMania spot. You know what I mean? Like it sucks that they're doing Drew like this.
Which is why Drew versus Fatu would have been better because you're finally building a new star. You know, he's old, and you're giving Drew that moment. That should have been the title match.
Yeah, Fatu should have won the chamber and Drew. Yeah, you're right. That's absolutely what should have happened. But even with Randy winning the chamber and getting the title match, I still think Drew should have been there. You know what I mean? I don't think he gets enough love or credit from the people even at WWE for the fact that he carried them through what was historically such a bad time for wrestling in the pandemic. No matter what company you watch, whether you're, watching the quiet New Japan crowds or AEW in front of crowds of indie wrestlers at Daly's Place or WWE in front of a bunch of screens, like taking that crowd element out of it lessened WWE, or lessened wrestling, because
Mm,
the crowd really is like the third character in a match or however many. You know what I mean? Like it's they really are part of the show. They really do dictate a lot of how shows go. And so not having that crowd to work off of at all was so crazy and so hard, and yet Drew carried WWE through that. And then on top of that, Punk comes back and Drew is Punk's first big feud, and he ignites. He brings the CM Punk we all love back to WWE television. The best work anybody's done in the last few years has been that Drew Punk feud. Nobody's topped it since, in my mind. So just it feels disrespectful. Drew wins the title back in the UK in front of a semi-home crowd. I don't think it was exactly. I don't remember if it was even in Scotland or if it was in Glasgow, but it was at least a semi-home crowd. Um, the way like Brett was even a home guy in Toronto or whatever. Um, he wins it. He wins the 3 stages of hell. It looks like he's going to carry the title into WrestleMania, redeem the pandemic, and then here we are. And he loses the title to Cody Rhodes. It feels disrespectful to Drew McIntyre. I don't know. What do you think?
yeah, yeah, I agree, but it's just how they booked, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah. And then I guess from the Randy side here, what do you think of the idea of finally pulling the trigger on Cody Randy doing the legacy thing at Mania?
You mean the thing they did? What? Getting me silent.
They did the legacy triple
You mean
threat.
the thing they did 16 years ago?
Yeah, but come on. None of those three guys are the same guy now as they were 16 years ago.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. But you're right. But still, you already did it.
Yeah, no, they didn't. Because the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes pre and post being released by WWE or leaving WWE the first time is completely different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so I think it's an interesting idea. I've thought it was an interesting idea for years. I thought there were much better times to do it, and they never pulled the trigger then, but they do it now, which seems kind of rushed and odd. Um, and this is just the story of the Triple H era of WWE. What I think we should call it the Eras era because he says it's
It's
an era every 3 days. So
a new era.
the new era, um, he constantly does stuff at the wrong time. And case in point, the second thing I wanted to talk about that happened in WWE this week, because these go hand in hand, is that Finn finally turned on the Judgment Day. He finally turned face on the Judgment Day. What, 2 whole years too late? What are we doing? They've been teasing this for so long and just never pulling the
New
trigger,
era, dude.
never caring to do it.
The,
And
the
then
new
now,
the new era. Every new era resets the storylines, dude. Come on.
yeah, I don't know. It's mind numbing to even follow WWE from afar. I can't imagine what it's like to still be consistently watching WWE television.
I mean, I can
Yeah,
ask I can ask the people I know who watch WWE.
yeah,
I'll ask.
yeah. Um, that's it for the WWE TV of the week. Um, let me go back here to where's Dynamite at? There it is. Let's see. From Dynamite, we got gone a whole lot here. Um, New trios champions. What do you think of Aichi Open
Oh,
trios champs?
I think it was the right choice, given that they're about to wrestle in a trios match. I think getting the belt off of Hangman was the right choice. Now you can free up Hangman and do Hangman stuff.
But yeah, now you finally get the trios titles away from the world title scene, but now they're involved in the
Yeah.
TNT and international title scenes.
Well, the international title. What international title scene?
Isn't Okada?
That's not a thing.
Oh yeah, okay. I would say isn't Okada still
It,
international champion?
yeah, he's a champion. They're not doing anything with it. It's a prop.
Yeah, it. I don't think AEW has necessarily too many belts. I think the quantity isn't the problem. I think it's what the belts are. Like, give me a good reason the international and national titles should exist.
Um,
Why couldn't we have something like a cruiserweight title or some AEW form of like an X division? Why don't we have like a secondary set of tag team titles? Like
because
I joked to you about the
Okada
HBO Max Tag Team Championship, like TNT and
because
TBS.
Okada needs a title to look cool, so they gave him a title.
Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. There's better in character ways to do that. Give him the Don Callis Championship. Have Don Callis create his own title to give him Okada, and then Okada wears it around like it's a real title. Like, what are we doing here? There's other ways to do that than just wasting what could be a real title. You know, so I don't know. Um, I did like the match quite a bit, and I do like the team of Aichi Open. Um, I really like how Mark Davis is still getting room to shine, even with the unfortunate injury of Jake something. But I think it's pretty good. Collision, nothing crazy. I thought Claudio and Takeshita was pretty good. Thought FTR and the Rascals was pretty good. What about the Ciampa heel turn? What are your thoughts on Ciampa turning heel?
He's better as a heel.
Just he lost like 3 matches and just got pissed off beyond belief.
Well, yeah, dude, because
No,
we have reference.
This was a good way to handle Ciampa because you're always going to immediately have at least a little bit of babyfacedom showing up in a new company like this. So you have to do something to like turn heel. Like if you remember, Adam Cole came into AEW as a heel, initially got an insane pop, but then because he was followed by Danielson and attacked Danielson, that set him as a heel. Like for that first like 2 minutes, he was a babyface, but then they wanted him to be a heel, so they set some up. They did that. So like you have to create the heeldom. New Japan Cup dates. Have you been watching much of the New Japan Cup?
No.
Yeah, I think I'm.
That's how I didn't even pick a guy for this one.
It is tough. I mean, I'm a Cal Newman supporter. I like Yuya. I like Umino. I got guys I like in this. Always love Bolton Oleg. I think I'm 4 matches behind. I think I need to watch 4 matches to catch up. But right now, as far as our brackets go, I'm up 10-7. We talked last week a little bit about the Aaron Wolf thing that was batshit insane. You were also wrong about Taichi beating Narita, Yoshihashi beating Jake Lee, and Drew Maloney beating Yuya Uemura. I was wrong about Aaron Wolf, and I was wrong about Yudo Ice beating Oiwa. But so 10-7, still close. Still fun. Still interested to see. We're starting to get the quarterfinal. We have 2 of the quarterfinals locked in right now. Or 2 members of the quarterfinals, 1 quarterfinal matchup. But you want to do Revolution predictions?
Yeah.
All right. We have 8 matches here, so 8 is the total number of confidence points you can, or is the max number of confidence points you can put down on a match. Starting with Tony Storm, Marina Shafir, everyone banned from ringside. Who you got?
You repeat the match, dude. I totally forgot what it was.
Tony and Marina.
Tony, probably.
Tony.
But I'm gonna say like 2, so I'm not sure.
Okay, I went Tony for 4. Not supremely confident, but I think she'll win. Swerve Strickland versus Brody King in LA, Brody King's backyard.
I would like to say Brody King. I'm gonna say Brody King.
Okay.
For 5.
Brody for 5. I went Brody for 2. I was this in one match later on, I was just completely 50-50 on. So I just went Brody for 2. Hometown buff is my only idea here. Andrade El Idolo versus Bandito non-title match. This is not for the Ring of Honor title.
This is not for a title. I'm gonna say Andrade.
Yeah, that was exactly why I
seven.
picked Andrade too. 7. I went Andrade for 5, so we're kind of right in the same there. Aichi Open versus Mystico and Jet Speed. Which if
Aichi Open just won the trios title, so I'm gonna say that for 8.
Okay. If this team continues of Mystico and Jet Speed, international airspace.
Yeah.
You have an American,
like
a Mexican, and a French Canadian. And you have the jet theme already and the sky theme with Mystico. International airspace. I went Aichi Open for 6. FTR versus the Young Bucks for the AEW Tag Team titles.
Not the Young Bucks for. Do I have 3 left over?
Yeah, you have 3.
There's 3.
FTR for 3. Again, I went hometown buff. I went Young Bucks for 3. I'm also not very confident in it, but I'm going Young Bucks. And then this is the second matchup I was 50-50 on. Moxley Takeshita, no time limit, AEW Continental title. Part of me wants them to wrestle for 90 minutes. Just really abuse that no time limit.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, that'd be fun.
Who you got, Mox or Takeshita?
Mox.
Okay. How many points? You have 1, 4, and 6 left.
I'm going to go 4.
Okay, I went Mox for 1. Like I said, I was very 50-50 on this one. Next up, we have Tekla versus Chris Statlander, 2 out of 3 falls.
No, Tekla.
Tekla?
Yeah.
How many points you got?
Just because it's been so early.
Yeah, you have
one.
You have a 1? Okay. So that leaves you with 6 points for the main event. Texas Death, Maxwell Jacob Friedman versus the Hangman Adam Page. Who you got?
Hangman.
Okay. Hangman for 6.
Wait,
Hangman
for the world title?
For the world title, yep. Texas Death.
I feel like it's been long enough.
Yeah.
You know?
I think so. And Max, I don't think they do the same thing they did with Cody. I just really don't see that happening. So, there you go. There are our Revolution predictions. Now, tape up the light tubes, take the door off its hinges. It's time for Shane's GCW corner.
Well, the big one is that we finally know what the world title match at
Spring break.
Big 10 is going to be Hayabusa versus Atticus Kogar
Fuck
for
yeah.
the world title.
Put it on Hayabusa. I don't care. Fuck Atticus Kogar.
I
Put it
agree.
on Hayabusa.
I agree. I don't care if we never see the title again. Put it on Hayabusa, dude.
Mm-hmm. That is, yeah.
They're going to Las Vegas on the 3rd of April. This is a little like pre-show thing
Mm-hmm.
because they're going back to Vegas in like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to Vegas 3 weeks after that. Ogo Sasaki from Noah is coming to Bloodsport because he is, an MMA fighter, so of course he is.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else collective? Slade Cruel, we already talked about. Marco Stunt is coming back to say goodbye on Saturday.
Okay.
YDMP and Marcus Mathers will take on the Rascals.
Okay.
Oh,
I like
and
that.
we have our first 5 announcements for the clusterfuck.
Ooh, okay. Who we got?
Ricky Sosa, Cruel, Spider Nate Webb, Santana Jackson, and the Green Phantom.
Okay. No big names. No. I mean, Spider Nate Webb's a pretty good name, but
And you got your Michael Jackson guy there too.
oh, that's just Santana. Okay.
Yeah, but nothing crazy yet. I guess Ricky Sosa's the big one right now.
The Green Phantom sounds like a one-time Batman villain from like 1964. Like a
Dude,
one
it's
appearance.
the clusterfuck, dude. He's a Quebec deathmatch legend. Wrestles mainly for interspecies wrestling, International Wrestling Syndicate, and interspecies. My bad.
Interspecies.
IWS over in Quebec. That's a real company. I was getting confused.
I mean, he's got.
But
If I'm looking at the right
outside
guy,
of
he's got kind of an awesome mask.
outside of TOS 8 and like the Quebec deathmatch scene, he's not really well known.
Okay.
I guess he was in TOD 3 too.
Seems like he'd be a
So that's
mystery
got.
wrestling guy.
I mean, he is from Quebec, so
Yeah.
he's wrestled in the same tournament as Pondo, Butcher, Wife Beater, Chris Cash,
Okay.
Nick Gage, Necro Butcher, Ruckus. So that, of course, was an 04.
Yeah. All right. Anything else from as far as collective announcements or anything? It's kind of a boring time, like for GCW events, isn't it? Because it's just kind of all.
Yeah, they did run 2 events, but nothing really crazy happened.
Nothing
I
crazy
think
really
Effie,
happens because you're building to Mania weekend.
yeah, like you have like Jeff Jarrett was at a show before their first Hammer Time show. He just hit something of a guitar.
There you go.
I was there for it, and it ruled. Of course, I was there for it.
Yeah.
I gotta check Effie's page. I believe he announced something for Big Game Brunch, but I didn't see it quite yet, so it's taking a second for loading. Effie will be at One and Only in the ECW arena.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second. You know how like Kenny versus Swerve couldn't happen at Revolution because of like a previous engagement? Is that previous
Yeah,
engagement Kenny Omega going to the Capcom Cup in Tokyo, fully
I
dressed like
guess.
Street Fighter?
I guess so.
Because
I
that's what
guess
he
so.
did today.
I cannot dude. Kenny, can you come work Revolution? No, I must be the guy from Street Fighter.
I must be the
Bye.
Street Fighter.
Hangs up. I must be the Street Fighter.
Oh man, that's awesome. Kenny Omega's awesome. All right.
You
Anyway,
love us,
whatever you were saying.
Mr. Omega. The big announcement that I haven't seen yet was SDL is returning to GCW, and in-ring action at Big A Brunch.
That's
Because
there you go.
Mance and STL came back,
Yep.
but now they're doing now she's doing her own thing as Big A Brunch. Because I guess Mance Warner doesn't qualify.
Mance Warner doesn't. Yeah, I could see that. I could see that Mance Warner doesn't qualify for Big Gay Brunch. I'd love him in the Death Vegas. Mance Warner would be great.
We'll bring back the Bi-Curious Rumble, dude. The thing that COVID stole from us. We never got Nick Gage as Bi-Curious.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, is Mance vegan? Maybe that's how Zach qualified last year.
Probably not.
Probably
But
not.
he is the straight
You're
boyfriend
right.
to a bisexual girlfriend, so he does qualify.
He does look like he only eats deer meat, so that is tough. All right. Anything else from GCW?
That's all I got.
All right. On to our favorite things of the week. This, of course, is where Shane will hand out the gold, silver, and bronze handshake. I'll hand out the gold, silver, and bronze hot dog. Shane, what's the bronze handshake this week?
Dude, it's Danhausen.
Danhausen?
It's Danhausen.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been great. He's been great. My bronze, I'm giving it to Charlie, formerly known as Dakota Kai. She returned at Eve Wrestling Queendom. It's awesome that she returned. I'm so excited for her to be back in wrestling. I haven't gotten to watch the Eve match, but it's great that she's here. She's one of my favorite women's wrestlers of all time, one of my favorite wrestlers of all time in general. So very excited for Dakota Kai to be back as Charlie now again, I guess. What gets the silver handshake?
Really tough because Dynamite was kind of like the walkthrough show.
Yeah, it
I
was.
guess.
Yeah, kind of a setup week. It wasn't anything big.
I guess if I had to guess, I would pick the heel turn from
Champa.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going with the Ichiban Sweet Boys versus Taiji Shimori and Robbie X match from the 54th anniversary show. I was only planning on watching the cup matches, but then that came on right after, and I was like, I'll just keep watching this. Awesome match. I really like the Ichiban Sweet Boys. Thought Taiji and Robbie X were great. New IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Champs. So that was a great match. I really enjoyed that. What gets the gold handshake this week?
Well, see, I was up very too late. I'm gonna give it to I guess I don't want to give it to the whole show because the whole show there was some kind of thing that didn't. It was like the best show of the week, but it's a very fun show. If you had Wrestle Universe, I'd watch it. From Noah Universe Magic 2026, the women's match.
Who was in it?
We have Miley Watani, Mika Iwata, and Mio Momono against Miyuki Takase, Takumi Iroha, and Utami Hayashishita in a kind of like an all-star six person tag team match.
Yeah, I definitely recognize some names there. So sounds pretty great. Sounds pretty big. My gold, I'm also going a trios match. I'm going Aichi Open Jet Set Rodeo. I thought it was a really fun match. These six guys going at it, so really like that. Really excited to see how Aichi Open goes from here and their defense at Revolution. On to upcoming matches this week. We only have stuff from Dynamite here. So lightning round. On a scale of 1 to 10, Willow Nightingale versus Persephone for the TBS title. How excited are you, Shane?
A 9. That's probably pretty
9.
fun.
Dim Bucks, Mark Briscoe and the Young Bucks versus Tommaso Ciampa and FTR.
A 7.
7. All right. Hechicero and Konosuke Takeshita versus Claudio Castagnoli and John Moxley.
Mm. Can you say who's facing Claudio and Moxley one more time?
It was Hechicero and Takeshita.
Oh, okay. That's a 9.
9. Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy versus David Finlay and Gabe Kidd.
5.
Kyle Fletcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey for the TNT title.
10.
That's a 10 for me. Yeah, that's the Ty Dillinger 10 of the week right there. All right. Would you rather of the week? And I'm excited for this one. It is my turn. So there have been talks, rumors of wrestling at Wrigley Field. So, Shane, you're a Chicago native. You're probably going to do that thing where you tell me the suburbs aren't part of the city like every fucking Chicago person does for some reason.
I'm from the suburbs.
But yeah, but that's Chicago. Never mind. This is a whole other conversation. Anyway, you're a Chicago native. You are a Chicago Cubs fan. Also, I think it's no secret to anyone that's listened to this that you prefer AEW over WWE. So, WrestleMania at Wrigley or All In at Guaranteed Rate Field, and it is overtly white.
WrestleMania Wrigley.
WrestleMania Wrigley.
Not even. It's just Guaranteed Rate is a worse stadium. So.
Okay. I thought maybe this would be how quick you answered. WrestleMania at Wrigley or All In at Guaranteed Rate, and Brody King is in the main event challenging for the AEW World title.
I think the spectacle of Mania at Wrigley kind of still puts it a little over, but ain't no goddamn way I'd miss a Brody King title shot in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So
even if it's like 2 hours away from my house, aside from the suburbs.
Yeah. So you're picking All In at Guaranteed Rate Field with Brody King in the main event?
Yeah, with the caveat, yeah.
With the caveat of Brody King in the main event? Okay.
Any other main event but WrestleMania at Wrigley.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
It's gonna be so fucking expensive, dude. Oh my god.
Oh, it'd be insanely expensive.
I'm gonna try to go, but dude.
Yeah. My only question would be, because you know how WWE is with the stage setup and all of that, right? You have to keep the vines exposed, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
So
well, no, it won't be. They won't be. It depends what event it is. If it's not during the summer, they won't be there.
If it's not during the summer, they're not there like in the spring when WrestleMania would be.
It grows. So when WrestleMania is, it wouldn't be like
fully there.
Yeah, it would be like June or July. They wouldn't let them do that. I don't think they'd do WrestleMania either.
So if they did like SummerSlam at Wrigley, they'd be.
No, it's during the season. I don't think they'd let them do it during the season.
Oh, okay.
Because it's not a concert. A concert's like
in and out one day.
In and out one day. WrestleMania is 2 days. Pyro.
Also, it's 2 days, and we start to see the stage getting built like 3 days before.
Yeah, so it'd be a whole week, and also the pyro. They'd have to cover the entire infield outfield, which would be bad for the grass. So they're not going to do WrestleMania. I think it's going to be Survivor Series. It'll be really fucking cold.
I'm about to say that's the thing. Survivor Series and the Rumble, it's too cold in Chicago.
Well, Survivor Series isn't that cold. The Rumble, there's no fucking way.
Mania, it'd be getting kind of warm. It would probably be cold later in the night.
It's still kind of cold.
But you can do Mania during spring training, right? I guess that'd be too early, wouldn't it? Because spring training's like right now.
Yeah, well, they do it around opening day if they go away.
If
so when WrestleMania used to be.
Yeah. It's tough. The White Sox.
But we're still talking about it at night. It still will be in the 30s, and if it's in Wrigley, you're right by the lake, so we're feeling like freezing at night.
Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot.
You
about
got to remember, we're at the
being
lake,
Wrigley.
so
Yeah.
the Rumble is out of the question
Oh,
no matter
Rumble's
what.
out of the question. That's the thing. It would almost have to be SummerSlam, and it would have to line up where the Cubs have like 6 road games in a row. Like they're just on an away, like they're just like at Mets and then at Blue Jays for 6 games, and then Wrigley's open for that whole week for Mania to be used or for SummerSlam to be done. That would have to be
I
it.
think I think that Survivor Series can happen. It would just be a little cold. It wouldn't be Rumble
Yeah.
cold, but I feel like SummerSlam or Survivor Series, and I would love War Games in Wrigley. Can you imagine how annoying CM Punk's going to be in that show though?
I don't know, dude. November, I just looked it up, and like from these statistics, November in Chicago is in like the 50s as highs. It's like
It's fine, dude. That's a hoodie.
that's the high. That's like
That's a
3
hoodie.
p.m. before the
That's
show even
that's a
starts.
hoodie.
That's not
It's in
that's not
Chicago. It's a
10
hoodie. It's
o'clock.
hoodie weather.
That's not 10 o'clock when the show's getting over. It'll be in the 30s by then. Especially right there by the water with Wrigley. I think it just might be impossible unless the baseball schedule lines up where SummerSlam can happen.
Well, we're also assuming it's a Big Four. I don't think it'll be.
What
Big
else
Four.
would
I
they
think
use
it'll
a
be
baseball stadium for? Are they going to use a baseball stadium for fucking Fastlane?
Hold on. I haven't watched the WWE regularly in like a while, so I
Well,
don't know where any
the
of
next
this.
step down would be Money in the Bank.
They do Money in the Bank at those all the time, don't they?
I don't think so, do they? Have they been doing Money in the Bank at stadium?
SummerSlam. I think the Big Four is too big for Wrigley's. We're looking at 30,000 at most.
Even
And the Big
with
Four,
is that even with like
they
floor
do.
seats, like seats on the field?
So I guess if you're during the you can have that many floor seats if you're during the season because you'll ruin the grass, you'll ruin the
Yeah.
because all the Big Four by next year probably all 2-day events.
Yeah. And looking at it, the baseball schedule, SummerSlam would have to be like July 11th and 12th. Because
Oh, that's perfect.
The Cubs are at
I
Orioles.
could go tonight too.
They're at Orioles. They're at Reds, and then it's the All-Star weekend. So it's from WWE has
Also, they can't do SummerSlam this year. They're already doing SummerSlam somewhere.
Is that true? I didn't know if we had an announcement on that yet.
Yeah, dude, it's in US Bank Stadium.
Oh, that's right. But in the
So they
future,
could
I
do
think you would have to look at All-Star Week.
yeah.
Because if the Cubs are on the road that week before All-Star Week, and then during All-Star Week, that would give the grounds crew time to get the stadium back in shape so you could maximize seats. Because WWE would be out of there, Monday morning, and then the grounds crew would have 3 days before there's another game. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's tough. It's tough logistics with Wrigley. Open air in Chicago is tough. All right. Well, that was 20 minutes on Wrigley Field. The thrilling conversations you come to Hot Dog and Handshake for.
All 5 of our listeners were paying attention to that fully.
Yep. If you want to listen to more of us, we have classic reviews on this channel. We just put out Wrestle 1 Grand Prix Part 2. We're going to try to record Money in the Bank 2021 this week and get that out. Look forward to that. We have tons of other reviews on the channel: WWE, WCW, ECW, New Japan, Ring of Honor, AEW, CZW, WXW, all kinds of companies. Go check those out and enjoy wrestling.